I feel a bit mixed as to what just happened. Hello, this is J.E. Realize, and as I'm recording, it is Monday night, the 21st of March, where I live. And I gotta say, the American Song Contest, I have a lot to process. So I guess we should go into the show's format first to explain exactly why I'm kind of mixed on the show. First off, I should have expected the commercialism. The problem is, I haven't watched primetime over-the-air broadcast television in years, really. I have really no idea how far we have gone in the opposite direction of where we should probably be going. So, the way the show was shown to me, first off, it was shown on a 3-hour delay because Eastern Time got dibs, despite the fact that it was held in California. But then again, what are you going to do? That's standard United States protocol. You cater to the greatest population first. Also, the nation's capital is over there, so we West Coasters, we can't really do anything. And it's not like the local broadcast stations can show the program at 5 p.m. local time because why? Who would watch something like that? If you got a big enough cable package, of course you could watch it live. And I wish I had a cable package, but my situation is not ideal. But my gripes about the East Coast aside, we also have the format of the show. Basically, first off, it's held in a studio. It's held in a studio at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's in the Los Angeles metro area, but it's technically not Hollywood. It's called Universal City, funny enough. The studio is an okay choice for beginning your show. We got this first show of the first round. It's not even the semifinals. You're trying to start up. There's also a pandemic going on, although it's been 2 years, and things have kind of died down. Honestly, I'm not going to gripe on there being an audience because NBC should have had some stringent controls in who they were bringing in. So, really, it's up to them. If they've done something wrong, then someone else is going to call out on it. It's not really my call. But, basically, how the show works is you got Snoop Dogg and Kelly Clarkson talking, then they introduce the act, and then we get a 2-minute postcard as to who the act is going to be. 2 minutes, my goodness. It's like, if you watched Eurovision, you would know that the postcard's about 1 minute. It's also kind of standard to let people move out when they finish performing and get the next act in. But the thing is, with those postcards, it's usually back to back to back to back. Here, however, well, after the postcard, we get the performance, and after the performance, we get Snoop Dogg and Kelly Clarkson talking again. They usher in the commercial break, and after the commercial break, we come back, rinse and repeat. We basically get one song between each break, and I thought Malta Eurovision Song Contest was bad. It's like, they may have, like, pop-ups, like, online broadcasting, like VOD style pop-ups whenever you're watching during an act performers. But dag nab, it's like, I know that there are far worse managed national finals. I remember back in Montenegro 2018, they had a 6-song final that lasted 2 hours. So much filler. And, of course, I didn't know Montenegrin, so yikes. On the other hand, you had the immaculate, manicured Melodi Festivalen. 90 minutes per show. At least the first few shows. 7 songs each, and really there were no commercials, but SVT, they have different rules. And really no commercials from what I saw of Melodifestivalen in previous history. But after those performances, we would have a general idea of who was going to advance to the next round. Basically, the format would be, from 7 acts, we would select 5, and from those next 5 acts, we would do another voting round, in which 2 would advance directly to the final, 2 would advance to a second chance round, where it's basically another show, and they would duel with another song to determine who goes to the final, and the last act, usually Krista Siegfried's. Here, however, they don't have really an announcement of who was going to advance to the semifinal except for the jury qualifier. So basically, the rules are the jury chooses from the 11 or 12 or 10 acts, really depends on the night, who was going to advance to the semifinals among the juries. After they selected it, then the public vote weighs in on the remaining 3 spots. And the way you can vote is via NBC.com, the NBC app, or TikTok. Via Mansuri. Sorry. Normally I would make Kesha jokes, but I decided let's make jokes based on that one Croatian entry last year. I don't even know how it's pronounced. That maybe explains why, despite the fact that there were really 11 songs, everything just felt rushed. And in fact, I'm gonna spoil just a little bit. Okay, not so much on which state became the jury qualifier. I'll bring that up later. But we only got 2 minutes after the last performer for the jury to say, this is who we're advancing. I'm allowing it on the basis that I'm giving them a little bit of credit. Maybe they had the jury watch a previous show. That's customary in Eurovision. But it felt structured and yet at the same time really illogical. So, Europeans, I hope to God that your broadcaster has a heart and cuts it down in 90 minutes. Because the way I saw it in the United States, oh dear Lord, I honestly wish I got Peacock. Oh, by the way, Peacock shows it next day. It probably doesn't matter to you because guess what? The NBC broadcast is geo-locked. Well, now you know how it feels on the other way around. Okay, I guess we should move on to the actual show. The first act up was Minnesota. We got Yam House, and we got Ready to Go. And this first song was interesting to me because my brother's girlfriend was standing right behind me. I was telling her a bit about the contest, and as we go into the second chorus, she says, I don't like this. My heart sank. Not because I disagree with her, but I kind of empathize with her. Ready to Go was really Radio Disney. It's very odd how Snoop Dogg could call this heavy rock. What are you? No, wait. I'm not going to ask what are you on. I know the answer. This is California. You need say nothing. I was starting to get the feeling that ASC wasn't really as good as I thought it would be. And honestly, through the other few songs, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Indiana, Puerto Rico, they were okay songs. But I know you're going to hate me because I brought in Alexa. She's from Oklahoma, but I just feel kind of let down. The problem is, I don't know quite why. I know of one instance, though, where I felt something similar. Late April, I was watching the songs from Eurovision 2021, mainly back-to-back. My sister and I were getting into Eurovision and that sort of stuff. So, I get through all the songs. Basically, my thoughts on the songs themselves as I went through them was, okay, And I was mostly like that. There were a few odd entries, there were a few interesting, exciting things. But when I finished the whole playlist, I was like, that was it? I felt kind of underwhelmed, really. And I admit, part of that probably had to do with me not really paying attention to Eurovision after the 2019 final. You know, I had this idea from 2019 onward to just kind of stay away from Eurovision, let the songs be selected, and then come back to it when the time was ready. 2020, the contest didn't take place. Instead, we got Europe Shine a Light, which was a non-competition. It was just a tribute to the songs that didn't get selected, you know, like the ABU TV song festivals. And the ABU song festivals, which are apparently different. Look at that man of the hour right there. Just flew by me. I'm annoyed. I was starting to feel like I couldn't really put up with this anymore. The songs were okay, but I just felt like I wasn't really getting into them. But I kept telling myself, dude, the songs have only been released, like, earlier today. You've only heard the songs from earlier today, the audio-only versions, and samples of the staging, and only now do you get the full package. What's the problem? The problem is, I was aware of the American Song Contest since last May, and I was excited for it, and basically I'm paying the price for all that hype. Admittedly, that's hype I gave myself because no one else was really interested. I was the one passing the word to other people saying, hey, you gotta watch the American Song Contest. And honestly, I don't know how they feel after watching the contest. I don't know if they feel the same way. They're probably feeling, that jerkwad that just approached me randomly in the supermarket and started blah, 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 recommended me this show, and I don't like it. To all of you, I should have expected this. Getting into something that you don't really have much of a basis for is tough. With that said, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. If you want to continue the show, it's your choice. It's going to be same time, same channel, same Monday, all that sort of stuff. But then I got to Michael Bolton from Connecticut. Michael Bolton was interesting because out of the entire snippet video that revealed what the songs would look like on stage, Connecticut wasn't up there. Like, Michael Bolton was absent. Granted, I eventually got to hear a bit of vocals from Michael Bolton himself off of TikTok, and I was not convinced. Like, I thought, okay, he's gonna be the sacrificial lamb that shows people that just because you're a big name doesn't mean you're guaranteed a spot in the semifinal. But when Michael Bolton came in, I don't know what happened, but I felt like believing again. If you disagree with Michael Bolton's song, I understand, but this time I felt like my confidence was regained. I thought, maybe the contest is not that bad. Maybe I should adjust my standards. Don't know how I would do that, but I'm just going to stick with this thing. Granted, I was going to stick with it anyway, because I was the one who wanted this thing to happen in the first place. Reap what you sow, right? So I continued. You got Connecticut. You got Iowa. Nice. You got Wisconsin, Mississippi, Wyoming. Eventually, we go all the way down the list. Now, let's go back to the entries. Minnesota, I already mentioned. Radio Disney. Oklahoma, K-pop. The favorite to win, but K-pop just doesn't really captivate me as much as other people. I remember back in 2012 when Gangnam Style was the #1 most viewed YouTube video. And a lot of K-pop stans told me, no, that song sucks. You need to watch Fantastic Baby by Big Bang Theory. I mean, Big Bang. Honestly, I didn't really see a difference. Like, I paid attention, and it was different, but it was basically not so much. Alexa's song was okay, I guess. It's certainly got a beat. It's certainly got an appeal. I could see the appeal. It was really well executed, but it just didn't resonate with me. At least not at the time. I'll probably give it another look later and probably be wowed. Arkansas, standard country song. Don't know what to say about that, but it's going to get a lot of votes from the southern states, so... filth. Give me a moment. Indiana, nice solid urban beat, okay. Puerto Rico, you know how Puerto Rico is. It's actually a pretty decent song, but, I mean, I didn't fall in love with it immediately. That's the case with most of these songs. But I will give credit. I did call that Puerto Rico song was going to be sent in Spanish. I admit I was partly wrong, but that means I was partly right, because good half of the lyrics were in Spanish. Okay. Connecticut is like, it's probably going to end up like Slovenia 2021, or anything like that, but it did give me hope. So, Michael Bolton, you kind of get a special shout out from me. You probably never heard of me, don't care about me, you probably go on the rest of your life without knowing that I exist. That's fine. I don't really care that much about the fame anyway. I just realized over the course of the past few years that that's overrated. Iowa, really love the energy though. I know that people love Oklahoma more, but I admittedly like Iowa more than Oklahoma. Wisconsin had a really nice beat, and even though I keep forgetting it, I remember liking it. Mississippi also was really good. You can see the whole trend. I was starting to get used to the American Song Contest. Besides the commercials and the talk, and all these other things that they did, like there were quiz shows with the contestants, there was this cheesehead joke. Wyoming had the cowboy pop thing, which I admit I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. It was pretty fun. And then finally had Rhode Island, which I gotta admit, that will speak to some people. And I can understand why the jury would pick Rhode Island. It's certainly not the flashiest, certainly not the most up in your face, but it's a story. And it tells it in a way that really connects with you. Don't know if I would put that in my top 11, which, by the way, what is my top 11? I'm going to have to think about that, because in a few hours, at least from when I'm recording, it's probably going to be closed by the time I upload this, because I will intend to upload on Tuesday. I'll still need to figure out how to vote. Now, I could make an NBC account. I mean, I would want to get Peacock anyway, because I need to catch up with WWE. Last I remember, I stopped just short of TLC 2020, because WWE Network was already moving to Peacock, and they shut everything down. But while 2 of the 3 options are gone for me, I would probably still make an account anyway, because apparently there's this Eminem's Music Lounge thing. Probably not going to win, but that would be cool. And I could still vote via TikTok. Dancing, think you're fancy. Kesha, you've been spared. With that being said, Europe, I hope that the product you get has been edited down to at least 90 minutes. It'll make it a bit more bearable for you to watch, because not even Malta was this egregious when it came to commercials. Do you have a top 11? I'll probably make a top 11 later. I mean, I don't really have the time now. I gotta work on this for the Tuesday edit. I'll probably not even post it anyway. I didn't post 2021, despite the fact that I do have it in an Excel presentation. But hey, feel free to leave me your top 11, and we'll see what we get going forward. Do the feedback thing. Wait, I already said that. You can also like and subscribe, notification icon. Follow me on Twitter at JERealize. Push the American Song Contest hashtag. This has been JERealize. I'll see you next week, and there will be a next week, provided nothing happens in Europe. Oh my god, I'm gonna get roasted and toasted.